All right, well, the big event at the end of the week has to be the outcome of the monetary policy review by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Reserve Bank of India. Let's take a look at what is expected. If you consider the poll of economists, it suggests that it's likely to be a status quo. The repo rate kept unchanged at 5.25%. And based on a poll that was conducted by Bloomberg, practically 34 out of the total of 39 have weighed in and said that they anticipate a pause. Of course, there's an outside chance based on 5 economists that there could be a 25 basis points cut. So if there's no cut that is anticipated, then what's the big deal? There's going to be quite a bit of focus on what the outlook for inflation and growth will be, because there are major developments in the space. Take a look at this. There's a change in the base year for CPI that comes into effect on the 12th of February, and that could well change the way that you look at CPI for the rest of the year. There's also the fact that the trade deal has been announced earlier this week, and that means that what was being shaved off of growth estimates will now have to be put in again. By the way, CPI, you have a change in the number of items in the basket. It goes up to 358. But on the growth front, like I was saying, people were anticipating that a 30 basis point of hit would take place on account of this lack of a trade deal and the tariffs therein, but that will likely have to come back in. 7.6% was the last estimate in December. This was lower than the previous forecast. I wonder what happens next. Now, beyond this, of course, is the transmission as well as rupee and liquidity. All of those things come into focus. The rupee, of course, has strengthened from those lows of 92 that it saw at the end of January. The meaning of that is that the RBI will now have to intervene less than it has had to in the past, and that is good news for liquidity. Liquidity is important, of course, from the perspective of transmission of the 125 basis points of rate cuts that you've already seen, and that is not complete. And so the RBI will likely have something to say about the liquidity going forward. That is also something that you should watch out for in trade tomorrow.
Yes,